Okay, so we are watching Life out of the gates. I just showered and everything, just got up. And not just got up, but just showered and got ready. So I haven't really looked into this pre-market. I somewhat was watching it over here early in the morning, but didn't really look into it too much. So it's looking pretty, you know, I don't know how to say. I mean, it looks like it's kind of busy here. It's getting a ton of volume here pre-market. That's just pre-market. So it went from this huge climb at around 10 all the way to 12. And I think even before that it was lower at 9 earlier in the day. Yeah, so it started off at like 9 or something. But now it's all the way up here at 12. So this one has a lot of potential. It's just really extended on the 5 minute right now. Same with the, well, 10 minutes okay, but the 5 minutes, pretty high up. I kind of want to see a pullback here at the open, but we'll see what this gives us because I'm really not too sure where this thing wants to go as of right now. It's kind of on a downtrend back to VWAP, which could be a good thing, but we'll have to see where this goes. It actually looks like it's going to form a top and tail doji here, which could well, actually a hammer doji, which could be pretty good, but I'm not going to trade the first minute or so. So there's a quick pop. 1225 all the way to 1270. Will it hold that level? I just realized I don't have my socks on. I'm looking for my socks. I'm gonna let this one go without me, most likely, if it does. Hold on, chat. I gotta look for my socks because I can't find my socks. Okay, so this first 1 minute is kind of tricky. It's not, shoot. Okay. So here goes live. It's dropping here. Sorry, I'm sidetracked. I'm sidetracking. I'm focusing on something else on my phone at the moment, but I don't know. Life's kind of up and down here. That was a nice bounce from 12 to 1250, but there we go. So that's a huge move. Okay, so now it's back in the game. There's a lot of red volume here, which I don't like. This candle, I mean, it's just popping and dropping, so it's huge potential for sure from 12 to almost 13. So let's see what it can do in this next candle here. Super sorry. I'm super distracted at the moment. Getting kind of frustrated. Okay, it's whatever. I'll pay attention to it later. So here's the break at 13. Can we get a break at 13? Huge sellers here lined up. You can see 100,000 right there. I'm surprised it hasn't snapped over 13 like that. So this is a false break, maybe a pullback, initial pullback, and then we'll go ahead and see a rip. This is a micro pullback. It's kind of holding this 1270 level, kind of holding the 1280s as well. Maybe the next candle, next 1 minute candle, we can go ahead and see a rip. But at the same time, if it hasn't even touched the 90s yet, I mean, it's got it in the 90s, but it's really just holding the 80s. So there's the break back into the 70s. Got about a 5-cent spread, sometimes 10. So I don't want to see this. Yeah, that's exactly what I didn't want to see was a dump down to 50. That's all right. This thing needs some time to consolidate, I guess. Needs a little bit to settle down. Just kind of curious to see where this wants to go. So right now it's kind of just sideways. So for example, get out my pen here real quick. So over here, so you can see I drew these lines here. So the blue lines here. Basically this one's just kind of top heavy, and then when it gets too low, then it's like quickly bought up. So now that it's trading within this range of 13 and 12, we know that it has potential to be bought up, but at the same time it also has potential to be sold off right away. So this thing's dropping faster than it is really being bought up. However, as you can see right there, right as soon as it touched VWAP, as soon as it touched the white line, basically, it immediately got bought up, and it's heading back up, I guess, to 13. But just some sideways consolidation. I'm just gonna wait for it to figure out which way it wants to go. I'm not gonna trade it yet, and hopefully we can see a curl back up. That's what I would really like to see. If this can finish around 1250, then maybe I'll buy the next candle for a rip back up to 13. But as far as I know right now, like, this is basically our high day, and we're gonna be looking for I guess a move all the way back up to 13, because this thing has room up to 12, up to 14 just about. So if we can see a rip through 13, we could definitely see a break at 1350 and then 14. So let's see what this wants to do. This is finishing pretty high, which is what I want. 1250 is the high here. I might get in here early. I'm gonna get in there at 38, 39, I guess. My stop's gonna be in the 20s here. Next 1 minute just open, see if we can get a move up. I'm gonna stop out. Yikes. Well, trying to bail here. All right, so I had to bail that position. It obviously didn't hold the 30s how I wanted. The high of this candle was 1240. Wasn't holding the 30s. Tried to bail out here at 24, but I couldn't get filled, only 90. And then I had to fill the rest at 1214, which is more than a loss than I actually wanted. Filled at 39, but that's all right. Not a big loss, which is good. So we still got some room. Let's see what else we can do here. You have to wait for this one to see some more momentum, I guess. The MACD kind of gave it away, actually. I actually didn't look at this. MACD was curling back down. Wasn't watching that. I just bought it because it was close towards VWAP, and I liked how it was actually, whenever it got near VWAP, it was actually being bought up. So I thought it had more potential to the upside, but that's all right. Let's see what else is going on. NNVC is moving. I'm not really interested in this one though. JMIA, AZRX, got halted actually. Wonder what's going on with this one. Let's check if there's any news on it. Okay, so it's related to COVID-19, so I guess it's a good headline. JCS. No, Kern. Let's check on the one we traded yesterday, ATER. So ATER is selling off today. Kind of expected after that huge run up, all these green candles on the daily. You can kind of expect that to sell off eventually, but maybe this is, some sort of consolidation. If it actually breaks down below, I guess, let me see, if it fills this gap here from 1325 to 1419, then, we can possibly see some continuation later on, but as of right now, I think it's kind of done. It's probably going to consolidate for several days and then, maybe make another move, but right now, I think it's kind of done. Let's see, life. So this one's tricky. So you can see here it broke through VWAP, looked like it was going down, finished pretty high, and then I'd say this one's pretty choppy. And I have way too many lines here, I guess, pre-market, so I can just go ahead and delete these. Let's go ahead and delete them individually though. Shoot. Yikes. Okay, there we go. We'll make some new ones because I think kind of frustrating. Okay. So here we got another big resistance level here. So we got another one up here. Say about right here. And then we got another one right here. within this range. We have another one here somewhat, especially because VWAP's there to help it out, but at the same time it's not really such a significant level here. So we have one here and one here that's forming some sort of resistance area, which is just probably around the whole dollar. Yeah, so it's around 12, which is why it's kind of holding up in this area. But kind of unfortunate that this trade really didn't work out, but that's all right. I also took a bigger loss than I really wanted to, so I was supposed to take, about a 15-cent loss or something, but I ended up taking a little over 20, I believe. So it's holding view up pretty well here. Well, it's kind of hard to say because it has such whippy moves. But as of right now, I mean, it hasn't broken and down to 1150 yet. When it does break below the 70s, it's being bought up again. So right here, it's looking like it's kind of curling. MACD doesn't look so strong, and same here with the 5-minute, it looks pretty weak. 10-minute also looks extremely weak over here. So I think this one, I don't think it's done for the day, but I think this one, we need more time on it. So let's check out some other stocks, see what else we got. AZRX was the one that got halted. So let's see what this one's about. Looks like this one's going to be about a 10-minute halt though. Oh, actually, yeah, 10-minute halt because it's halted here at 9:35. Usually they take 5 minutes, but in this case, it already went over the 5-minute mark, so now it's going to be like another 10-minute halt. So we gotta wait I guess 5 more minutes. So at 9:45:04 is when it should resume. But let's see. JCS. No. KPLT. Let's check some big cap stocks. Facebook kind of sideways today. So yesterday, as I had mentioned, had a big sell-off. I was gonna get in early in the day around 30.80, I'm assuming, but just I was too busy focused on ATER and some other stocks, so I didn't even take this trade. But I had seen it had consolidated. However, I knew that it's somewhat sideways consolidating at the moment on the daily, so I didn't really want to trade it. It has a lot of potential, but I don't know. It's just kind of sideways at the moment. Not really interested. So let me see. Let's go back to life. See if life's flushing. Nope. FVIV. Definitely not interested in this one. That's okay. So I like the setup on this one. I like the chart on this one. Doesn't look too bad. It's a recent IPO, not super recent or anything, but I can't scroll back any farther than this. See what the company's about actually. Okay. It's a slow mover. Definitely not, huge moves here, but it did have a really nice move here. This is a super nice ride up, as well as here in the open. Really nice move there. This had to have been actually an extremely obvious move right here. That was just, if only I had seen it. It didn't pop up on my scans or anything, so it's kind of unfortunate, but curious as to what this 5 minutes gonna do. 10 minutes still looking somewhat healthy. That was nice. So it's kind of on its third bull flag, it looks like. So for example, right here, you have one leg up. Let me actually draw it like this. So you have the stick here, the pole, I guess, right? And then you got the flag, some consolidation, 3 candles down. You got another, run up. And this is not really, pull back. It's not the second flag. However, it's somewhat in this range here. So it's kind of just sideways. And now it has a smaller, little run up. So if this one fails, then this is the third flag, and I wouldn't want to trade it after that. I'd want to see it, consolidate some more, set up better on the 5 or 10 minute, and then from there, potentially take a trade and see where this goes. But I don't think this one's going to be very, very active later in the day. Let's go back to life and see what life's doing. So life's curling here on the MACD, which is really nice. Kind of want to get in on this, actually. It's super whippy. Oh my god. I was a that sucks. I was gonna buy at 19, however, it flashed to 19. The next thing you know, it's 27, and then 22, then 30. Ah, so I really, really like how it's curling back up here. On the 5 minute, it's still, yeah, it's kind of iffy, but the next 5 minutes gonna open. So I kind of want to see it drop back down to about 12:20, and we can definitely take a position. Okay, so that's a bigger drop than I actually wanted. So that's, wow, that's disgusting. That's a nasty false break right there. Yikes. So I'm glad I didn't get in on that position. Wow. I'm pretty happy about that. AZRX just resumed here, so let's go back to this one. So it opened pretty high, really nice open. Selling off as expected because people are taking profits from this, but let's see if it gets halted on a halt down. Looks like it. Oh no, it's not. Wow, that's that's extremely bullish. So, oh wow, never mind. As I say, that drops even more. So let's see. That's interesting though. I actually thought it was gonna get halted. It looked like it was about to, but that's nice. Okay, let's go back to life while this one's still on the sidelines. Life, it's just breaking lower, especially after that false break. That was disgusting. That was just that was pretty bad. So definitely don't want to trade that. Um, I don't know. It would be nice to see this curl back up. If we can somehow see this curl back up and the 5 minute actually finishes high here, then I would definitely trust the next 5 minute, just because it's been holding this level. The MACD is crossing here, so I'm not even surprised that it dropped. The MACD's crossing, so if we can see another curl back up, then that'd look great for a huge move back to 1250 maybe, or even if it breaks 1250 back to 13. There's huge resistance here at 14, well, just 14 flat, I believe. But even right here at 1170, where we see, this consolidation, or we see this, not consolidation, we see this resistance level here, or support. So if it can hold this level and kind of go sideways and start crawling back up, then we can potentially see a move back to 1250, and then from there all the way to 13. But let's just see what this wants to do. I think this one still has a lot of potential because it's the only one that's really, really moving today, at least on my scans. Let's see, let's go back to DATS. What's DATS doing? So DATS drops, kind of sideways still. DATS W. Another one, okay. NNVC. I like the 5 minute on NNVC actually. It's not that bad. But this one also has like a kind of a flag pattern. So for example, you can see it here. Right here, you can see here's the pole. Here's the flag, another pole, flag, and this is the last little pole, I guess, the third one, and the flag. So not really interested in trading after the second one usually. Sometimes the third one can really, take off, but the third, once it's after the third one, then it's kind of just done. But at the same time, I've seen some takeoffs to, 4, 5, 6 bull flags, and that looks, insane because those are those are very rare. But when they move a lot. So life is consolidating. It's, just, I don't know. I still feel like this one has a lot of potential. It's the most I guess watched one right now on my scans at least. I still feel like this can go somewhere, but I have to wait for it. JMIA. Okay, so this one has a nice move up here. 2070 all the way back to 1220. 50-cent move. Somewhat of a slow mover. I don't really trade stocks this high either. Let's see, go back to live. I'm still kind of frustrated that this move didn't work out how I wanted. It was holding up in the 30s really well, and right here just couldn't break it. I didn't see any sellers stacked up in the 30s anywhere, so I don't understand why I couldn't. Maybe it was a hidden seller or something around 1250, 1240, but I don't know. I really thought this had more potential to curl, especially from all the dips being bought up. I mean, to me, that was just a bullish sign, and it was holding this 1230 area pretty well before the next minute open. So just unfortunate that didn't work, but that's the name of the game. That's how it goes. So let's see, NNVC. This one out again. JCS. JCS here curling back up. Not looking too bad on the 10-minute, 5-minute even. You see here it hit VWAP and then it immediately dumped. So not dumped, but it just had a false break, I guess. It couldn't hold that level. So let's see if it could actually curl and continue with some big momentum. You see on the MACD here, it actually crossed. So that's a huge spike in volume here, 150,000. So it was actually more than that. This thing's kind of messed up. But now it's crossing through VWAP. If it can break over VWAP and hold, then that looks really interesting, because right here, let's see, around the 850 area, that's our first resistance spot. Once we break through there, we got another one over here around, I'd say, this level. So around 9. Yeah, exactly. So 850 to 9, and we just want to see it hold over VWAP. We want to see if it can break over VWAP and at least do something. Go back to AZRK while this does that, or AZRX, I mean. So kind of died out. Live. I think it needs a little more time. It hasn't broken really to it hasn't broken 1150 yet, which is good. I mean, it tapped 1150, then quickly got bought up, and now it's just in this range now. So now between 1150 and 12, it's just in this area. I do think this has potential still, though. I do believe that this can actually continue higher, and I kind of feel like getting in early just for that rip, but at the same time, I don't want to get in too high and then it actually flushes. Because if we see this go back to 1150, 1160, then I think this one's kind of done. Especially on the 10-minute. The 10-minute doesn't look the best. It looks like it can keep breaking down. If this breaks below 1151, then this one's kind of done. Or actually, no, it's not done necessarily. The 10-minute can set up. It can actually break through this level and set up for the next one, but it has to finish high. If it breaks 1150, it has to finish high. So we'll go ahead and see what it wants to do here. What was the other stock we were just watching? Let me see. AEI is moving up here. AZRX. JCS. Okay, wow, look at that. So it broke through VWAP, but it obviously couldn't hold. So that was a huge false break. Oh, that's nasty. As you can see here, this was our largest, amount of volume spike, I guess, that we had. But this one just basically doubled in size right here. So we got a lot of short sellers watching this one carefully, I'm assuming. So that was pretty bad. Let's go back to live. So live flushed back to 1150, and now it's all the way back up. So it didn't break this level yet. However, it's all the way back up, which looks great. I'm going to get in here actually for the break of 12. So I'm in at 1190 for the break of 12. If this goes into the 70s or 60s, then I'm pretty much out. I want to see this break over 1190 again, though. It's kind of stuck at 1186. Not really comfortable here. Having it sell, stop out. Actually, I'm going to hold. I'm going to hold. I like that it's actually doing that. 1190. See if we can get the break at 12. Selling there, didn't break fast enough. Broke over VWAP, but didn't break 12 fast enough. So I'm just stopping out there. That was about a that was a 3 cent move. Well, not very impressive, but it still made some money back. I gained 20 bucks back, I guess. So I'm really just waiting. I was going for the 5-minute break. You can see here the high was 11.94, and it went to a high of 12 in the next candle. But I really want to see if this can break over 12 and hold. If it can break over 12 and completely hold, then we're great. Let me see. 12, we got a huge seller stacked up here. Not huge, but pretty big. Don't have a lot of support though. So there's a break of 12. Can it hold though? I'm kind of really nervous that this is just gonna flush. You know, the 1-minute MACD is crossing. 5-minute MACD looks like it's about to cross. So this is actually holding 12 really well. I should have actually held my position, but that's all right. I want to see another pullback before we actually enter the next break. So if this next candle opens high and then flushes, I mean, we're kind of just done. Let's see. High of this 5-minute candle is 12.19. So I don't like how low the 1 minute's finishing here, but I'm gonna get in here. See if we can get the break of yikes. So I wasn't even filled. That kind of sucks. Get in here. We're gonna see if we can get the break of 12.19. I'm at 12.09. See, back in the teens. It's 12.13. It's 13. I'm gonna sell out there. So I just stopped out. It's having a lot of resistance there at the teens here in the 13s. It's actually holding up, but I don't like how much red I'm seeing on the tape. So I just stopped out there. Actually, I might have made a big mistake because I just noticed the 1 minute's actually on somewhat of a consolidation. So this actually, I can probably get it on the next 1 minute. Let's see. I just don't like how much it's, pulling back there. So right here, let's say I got in at 12.12. I'm not going to take this position. I think I took too many trades already on this one. So 12.12, it broke by 1 cent, and now it's back to 12.06, 12.04, 12, and there's a false break. So I guess it's a good thing I stopped out, saved myself from this huge loss. I made some money back, but I just gave some back right now as well. I gave like $4 or $5 back. So we're stopping out, I guess, today with a $67 loss. Not terrible. Kind of just, I made what, $20 yesterday, and I just gave back, 40 pretty much. I'm negative 40 so far, but not a terrible thing. I'd rather be down 40 than be down 60. I guess on the week, so not a bad start overall. Still not, super negative. I've had days where it drops, dramatically. Like let's say I'll buy at the top here and then it'll drop all the way down here. I'd be down like $300, $400. Definitely happened to me before. Sometimes I take too big of share sizes and I end up, really messing up. My biggest loss was about $2,000. So I've, I've been there, definitely been there. It sucks. But you can always recover. The next day after my $2,000 loss, I made another 900. The next day after that, I made another 500, 400, 300. So it was pretty good after that. However, sometimes I make mistakes. Nobody's perfect, especially in this market. So let's see. We don't really have anything else moving. JCS selling off. NNVC, same thing. Wow, that's a pretty bad sell-off. So as I told you, here's, let me get the pen out real quick. Sorry about that. So as I mentioned earlier, you got this pull, flag, pull, flag, and then you got a small pull, and then big flag, or I guess bigger flag, right? It's 3 candles. And then, after that, it just kind of sells off. So usually after the third bull flag, the second one's kind of tricky. Like after the second's kind of tricky. Maybe there's a potential third, not all the time. However, the third one is when it starts getting a little dicey here. And then especially after the third, sometimes there's a fourth, even fifth. But, the higher up it goes, the more, concerned you should be. It's actually pretty tricky up there. Let's see what else. AZRX. So this one's actually coming back up a little bit. I'm still not interested in this one like at all, but you know, knowing that it was the only one that got on a halt today, might have some potential. SL. It's a nice ride up there. Very slow mover, but you know, huge potential. So if we go to DATS, ooh. Now it looks like it's flagging down, so it's just like a bull flag, for example. Just like the bull flag, it's just the opposite direction. So here you can see, let's just say flag, right? There's another one, just say. But then this one's just the opposite. So this one's coming down, flagging, and then coming down again, flagging. Let's just say. But that's basically what a bear flag is. So now it's going in the opposite direction, kind of staircasing down. Not interested in that one at all. Wow, look at blue taking off here. See if there's a headline for it. Okay, so it's a biopharmaceutical, it looks like. Don't really see any headlines for it. Sarcoidosis drug market analysis. Okay. I guess it's a good headline. Not really too sure what it's about, but this is pretty volatile. Next 5 minute looks like it has a lot of potential to break over 6 again. So here's a break of 6. How high is it gonna break over this last 5 minute though? 607 is the high. I'd rather see consolidation here, not too much, but I would rather see a couple pullbacks, maybe 2 candle pullback, and then we can go ahead and see a rip back up. But if this gives us a 1 candle pullback, that's perfectly fine too. So let's see what this wants to do. 10 minute looks really strong. I think I'm gonna get in on this one. Kind of want a better pullback though. This can definitely break over 6, which most likely will right here. And that's another problem I have. So there's a break, 605. That's another problem I have is I wait too long for a perfect pullback, which don't always come. When they do, I mean, they work great. Like I get the best fills, best positions usually, and I love when they happen, but they're not very common for me. I look too much for specifics, and they don't always come my way. So that's another form of hesitation that I got going on. Okay, so we see a false break of 6 there, and now it's just kind of, you know, not selling off or anything. Definitely not that dramatic, but it's, you know, just sideways at the moment. Needs a little more time. I still think this has potential to break over the 10 minute and 5 minute. If it pulls back too much, then forget about it, but I still think this has, you know, pretty good potential. It just needs, you know, some consolidation after this huge run up. So from 530 all the way to 610, I believe. So, you know, that's 80 cents. And this stock, I mean, it doesn't even move that much. All of a sudden it gets all this volume. So let's just see what this wants to do. If I do buy in on this one, I would like to buy in with a larger size just because it's a slow mover. It's a nice move on the daily too. The daily was perfect. Last high here was 515. So definitely a nice move on the daily. So here's the break of the 1 minute candle. I should have gotten on this one. To break back over 605. Double topped here. It's going to sell off again, or is it going to hold 6? There's the break at 605, so that's a really nice move there. So now I've broke a new high on the 5-minute, broke a new high on the 10-minute. Will this hold and continue? So let's say I got in on that with 500 shares. The low here was 585. Realistically, let's say I got in at 590. Ooh, nasty right there. 590 for the break of what? 6. Say I sold at 605. So 605, that's 15-cent move right there. 15-cent move. You know, bring out the calculator. 500 shares. 15 cents. I mean, you're making, you know, not a whole lot of money, but you're making a decent amount. We can actually do a calculation here if you want to see. So 500 times 0.15, you're making $75. So definitely would have made back all my money right there for sure. I should have just taken it instead of talked about it, right? But I feel like I'm kind of done for today. Had 2 losses already, 1 small winner, but you know, I don't want to keep risking it. That definitely would have put me green though if I actually did take that trade, but I'm not super disappointed I didn't or anything, because I was originally going to get in back here, I believe, closer to 6. So you know, if I got in at 6 and sold at 605, you know, it's a 5-cent move, but I could have sold anywhere in this you know, consolidation here where it actually goes all the way to 570. You know, and let's say it didn't even stop at 570, let's say it went all the way down to 560, then, you know, a bigger loss than I need to with the big size, not worth it. But I mean, I want to say this was an obvious move. I just knew this, you know, is kind of pulling back here, and I knew it would break over the 5-10 minute just because of the way it looked pretty healthy. I just wanted to be sure if we had a third candle or not. However, this one ended in a hammer doji, so that looked, you know, pretty clean for a ride up. I knew it could break over. Obviously, I just hesitated. You know, I didn't want to take it. Just not a stock that I normally trade. You know, I don't trade slow moving stocks necessarily, but you know, I guess I'm pretty slow to the trigger as well. But I think that's it for me today. I think I'm kind of done here. I'm gonna wrap it up with a $67 loss, $68 actually. And I guess that's it. So I'll check you guys tomorrow, and we'll go ahead and see what I guess tomorrow has for us.